everyone, so today's video is going to be about water rights. A little bit about the backstory. This couple that I'm going to go talk to, they've been living in their fifth wheel travel trailer for over 10 years. They've traveled the country, they've enjoyed it, but they're ready to settle down. So they chose Pahrump as their forever location, and they bought a piece of land. And they found out the hard way that you can't just go drill a well. And I am excited to share the process with you. I'm going to go ask them some questions. And right now they're in the process of building. They've got the wall, or the, I don't know what you call it, the frame up. They've already dug the well and put the septic in, and I'm a little behind the 8 ball on that, but we're still going to talk about water rights, and it's going to be fun. So thanks.
We had no background knowledge of what was going on with the water in general. We had no real knowledge other than that we had the right to drill a well, and that the water was good, and that we had the right to drill a well. So we didn't know that there was all of this other areas that the land was already, the water was relinquished, so we didn't. And Deborah, when the order came down, we really had no clue of what to do, we probably should have bought water rights right then if we had known what.
Back in 2017, when you bought the land?
Yeah, because all of a sudden, Steve went to that first court hearing that was the following April, and drove out from Kanab, Utah, to go to that hearing, and then he finds out, and I think right away we were watching and saw that the price of the water rights went from $1,000 an acre foot or acre to, went up to, I don't know, 10,000 or something per acre foot. So it was just, we really appreciate and all the efforts and everything. It was just really, really sad that the state could just arbitrarily, with no warning, be able to stop the ability of putting in a well. And, we had no understanding of that.
So when you bought the land, it had the water rights, but you couldn't just go dig a well. Is that that's basically, you could have, but you chose to.
We could have. And Jim Pike, we actually met him the following July after we bought the land in April. And he did give us a little bit of a clue that, I'd get it done if I was you, and, but we weren't planning to build until the following winter. So, we were getting our drawings made and getting our perk test and getting the layout done, and we had Civil Wise doing our drawings, and we had just gotten those approved by Civil Wise within days of the order from the, so it was just the permitting process. We just were pushing it out because it was going to be the following winter before we were going to start building. And so anyway, here we are 5 years later.
Yay, it's exciting. So once everything was done, how long did it take for them to come out and drill the well?
We had to wait for the casing, and there was a supply problem for casing. If they had the casing, it had probably been a couple of weeks once we got the approval from Vegas. But it took them another 8-9 weeks to get the casing, and it had to come from Pennsylvania.
The big problem was we bought the water rights. We gave them the money for the water rights last May. And then it took till
2 months ago,
October,
yeah.
November, before we actually had our permit for the well. So it was just real frustrating because it was always something else.
Well, part of the problem is that the state engineer has a team that's working it, and I can't think of her name that was working it. She was going on maternity leave, and she was going to be gone for 10 weeks, and the state was only working 1 day a week anyway, so there was very little getting done through the state,
And then they
so we
said
had to
we
keep
were the lucky
pushing to
ones.
try to say what's the status, and then they would say this, and then all of a sudden they'd tell us something else that we'd have to do, and they said, well, why didn't you tell us this, 4 weeks ago? Ultimately, we bought it from Shady Farm something here in town.
Okay.
Had a farm, or Sandy something.
I'll look it up.
It was a farm company who had X number of water rights, and they were at a farm or something, and they weren't using all the water rights. So what happens is the water rights, if the farmer's not using them, the state will reclaim them.
The cost, I think, the
Hello.
whole, it was 17,000 an acre foot and another 1,000 to process, so it was about 15,000.
And how many acre feet do you need? Isn't
We
it
have the
2 acre feet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Man.
So it was quite a process. It was just a real pain, and it took us a couple months to just get those required documents together
And
to go to
record
the
them?
state.
Yeah.
And then the state, it sat there, and then it was about a month before we found out that they needed some kind of affidavit from the seller, and which they had, but it like kind of came later or something, or I don't know if the gal, because the middle person, we were relying on them to do everything, and then once they got that, then it sat there for another month up at the state, and then it came back here. We were being our own builder, so we were learning along the way
Yeah.
for the permitting, and and it was just as well because we were here at the end of September, and we kind of had to be present really to process all of that. And Phyllis thought since we developed the other property that we knew the whole process, but all we did was add power. We didn't have to get the building permits, so we didn't know all that process.
Well, and it's different for every build. It's like there's something different. There's something weird. There's some quirk. There's some, everything is a learning process every time.
Unless you do this for Monday through Friday type thing, you just do your job.
Right.
Anyway, it's exciting. The walls are coming up.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate you following me through that journey. And I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed meeting Steve. And did my dogs just open the door? No. I thought my dogs opened the door. Steve and Susan are awesome people, and I really appreciate them letting me come out there and ask them a few questions and learn a little bit on the way, and hopefully pass a little bit that on to you. So press subscribe and follow me for more content. My plan is to post something weekly, and hopefully you enjoy what you see and keep coming back for more. And I'll get better, I promise. Thanks. Look, they have opened the door. Maybe I need to lock it. They're so bad. I had to move my office chair out into the hallway. I'm sitting on a step stool.